More and more people regret voting for Donald Trump every single day.
He's pathetic as a president, and I just want to apologize to everybody in the country for supporting this rotten man.
Even streamers like Lacy and Adin Ross admitted it.
And I ain't gonna lie, I voted for Trump, but I will say the way he dismisses this whole Epstein shit is not it. I don't fuck with that. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, I really don't. I don't.
At this point, any reasonable person that supported Donald Trump for whatever reason have regrets.
Me 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I vote for Trump, and I regret it now.
Because of how chaotic this administration has been, the brutality that ICE has inflicted on U.S. citizens, how Trump's actions and policies have destroyed the U.S. economy while enriching billionaires. We just saw the highest layoffs since the Great Recession.
Telling y'all, if you think layoffs are done, you are already behind what's coming. I'm gonna say this real slow, because some people are still pretending that everything is fine.
Not to mention, Trump's name is all over the Epstein files. And it's really been the same for all of these influencers. They supported Donald Trump because it benefited them. And now that it no longer does, they're admitting they regret voting for him and that they made a mistake.
This is what you supported. You said you wanted Trump. Listen, bro, the reason I wanted Trump was because I wanted to make more money, all right? That's why. I'm gonna say it. At least I'm honest. I don't give a fuck. At least I'm not sitting here lying. I don't give a fuck who's the president. I want to make more money. I'm a greedy bitch, okay? At least I'm saying it. I've been saying it from day one.
That's the problem right there. It's exactly why we are where we are right now as a country. Trump has always been a terrible person, and he was a terrible, vindictive president the first term who turned into a petulant child when he didn't win the second election and caused the insurrection in our nation's capital. Even the first term, Trump broke laws, ignored the Constitution, enriched his family and anybody else close in his circle. He literally had his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, meeting with world leaders getting side real estate deals when he wasn't even a formal member of the administration. And even before 2024, we knew that Trump was in the Epstein files. And now that Trump is back in office for just a year, it feels so much longer than that. It feels like we should be on year 3 of the Trump administration at least, but it's just year 1. It's been nothing but spitefulness for the American people, chaos, greed, violence, all coming from this administration. But people like Lacy didn't care about us. He did not care about regular people like you and me. He cared about getting richer even though he's already a millionaire. All of these billionaires and corporations that could have stood up to Trump did the exact same thing as Lacy. They sold out the American people to get closer to the Trump dictatorship and get richer than they were before. But I guess at least Lacy gets credit for actually admitting that he sold us all out just so he could make more money.
I'm a greedy bitch, okay? At least I'm saying it. I've been saying it from day one. Now tell me why I ordered an $8,000 exhaust, and then a week after I order it, I get a call, you gotta pay a 57% tariff on it. What? I gotta pay an extra over $3,000 when I already paid $8,000 on a fucking tariff. I don't even know what a fucking tariff is.
Dumbass idiot losers like Lacy and Adin Ross who don't know anything about policies, the economy, what's good for normal people. They and their influence are a huge reason we're stuck in the mess that we are right now as a country. But Lacy didn't care about the economy, the unemployment rate, mass layoffs, U.S. farms going bankrupt, American citizens being killed in the street by federal agencies. He didn't care about any of that. What he cared about is losing $3,000 because of a tariff that he paid to an exhaust. Insane that we're forced to live in the dumbest timeline because people literally just don't know anything. That's it. That's the whole plot. That's all facts. What's crazy that he's regretting his vote, not because of the Epstein files, families being separated, people being murdered, violating the First Amendment. Nope, because his money is affected. And I guarantee you that's what's gonna wake up most of America when small towns have factories closed down and lose all of their jobs. When people that were making 6 figures in Biden's economy are suddenly in the layoff line. Now that Bitcoin is crashed, if it doesn't go up again and Trump is supposed to be the crypto president, when the stock market drops, when there's finally a real estate crash from all these inflated prices, that's when people will finally turn on Trump because they only care about themselves. Capitalist culture is easily the most successful propaganda campaign in human history. Many people unironically think like this. They do. How has it become so normalized to prioritize your own monetary monetary gain over every other facet of the human experience, especially when they're already rich. It's not broke people saying this stuff. It is rich people that are millionaires and billionaires that supported Trump just to make more money even though they didn't need it. And buyer's remorse must have spread with these people because Trump has reached historic approval rating lows. 400 days into Donald Trump's term, the president's net approval rating is -17, up 0 points since last week. 39% approve, 56% disapprove, 5% not sure. That 39% will probably go down a little bit, but there are some hardcore MAGAs that will stick with Trump even if he set their house on fire, personally, with his little small hands. But look at this. This is where we are. Trump's approval rating is that bad. Sheesh. Look at Biden. Biden went down. Oh, Biden still didn't go as low as Trump. Crazy. Trump's approval rating is at 39%. Turns out being Israel's lapdog, covering for PDFs, kidnapping presidents for oil, warring with Iran, and being a good goy makes you hated by America. Just resign, let Peter Till's pet JD Vance have fun until Gavin Newsom mugs him out. I don't agree with Sneaker on a lot of stuff, but he hit the nail on the head with that tweet. And even the naive people like young voters that gave Trump a chance are finally waking up. Some young voters are starting to regret their vote for President Trump. A Wall Street Journal poll finds 58% of voters under 30 disapprove of the job he's doing as president. 58% of young voters. He told y'all what evil shit he was gonna do, and y'all still voted for him. Y'all get no sympathy from me. We all heard him, but some of y'all chose to ignore him. Facts, and it's really hard to relate to any of these people's decision to support Trump after seeing exactly what he did with his first term, the damn insurrection, and being in the Epstein files. He's always been incompetent, but they chose to vote for him again. My entire follower base right now is pretty much patriots who regret voting for Trump. How did we go from such winning to such betrayal in just 12 months? What winning are we talking about? Other than Trump tricking idiots like this, what winning has America done under Trump ever? In January, we reached a record amount of layoffs. New jobs are scarce. This is the Trump economy.
I'm telling y'all, if you think layoffs are done, you are already behind what's coming. I'm gonna say this real slow, because some people are still pretending that everything is fine.
Even that U.S. layoff government number, that 300,000 number, the majority of those employees that were laid off from the federal government were black women.
So I lost my job last year and all the hoopla, right? And every week I'm talking to somebody that either got laid off and lost their job, or they know somebody that lost their job. Whether it's government, tech, manufacturing, y'all see all the names, it doesn't really matter, right? It's everywhere. And I'm just wondering how much loss America can absorb before it's not sustainable. Because rent, mortgage, groceries, insurance, all of that shit is going to collide all at the same time.
No lies told, and it will get worse. It continues to get worse every single month. Just this stat is crazy. The U.S. added 403,000 fewer jobs last year than previously anticipated. The new estimate is that the economy added just 181,000 jobs in all of 2025. It points to an economy being choked by one man's erratic, damaging approach to governance. And when you actually see these numbers, it's really insane. 5 million jobs right here. And the hits just keep coming. January layoffs surged to 17-year high. U.S. employers announced 108,435 layoffs in January, up 205,000% from December, and highest January total since 2009. As in the Great Recession. But people voted for Trump because of the economy. His dumb tariffs, his stupid policy decisions, breaking trade deals, running over allies, and billionaires groveling to him has led us to a point where not only is the job market tanking, there are no jobs available, but now people that were gainfully employed are losing their jobs for absolutely no reason other than greed. And I think this tweet is so relevant to what we're seeing in a lot of ways when it comes to MAGA and conservatives who have been just completely hypocritical. Remember, they used to be the dead hawks. They used to be the people that want to hold the federal government accountable, and now they're just okay with the free falls. MAGA has no facts, no plans, no agenda to make your life better, and folks have been letting them get away with it for too long. But the job losses are just one part of why this economy is tanking. Over 70% of licensed realtors didn't sell a single home last year. That is insane. Home prices are so high and wages have not gone up at all. So people can't afford anything. People can barely afford rent. And it's kind of like if you don't already own a home, you damn near have to be rich to be able to afford. An entire generation is now realizing that owning a home will never be an option for them. Our parents brought homes with single incomes, and now you can't rent a 2-bedroom without dual incomes. Median home prices in 2005, $220,000. Median home prices in 2025, $420,000, a 91% increase. Median salary in 2005, $44,000. Median salary in 2025, $56,000. That is so unsustainable. That is only a 27% increase to a 91% increase. How is anybody supposed to keep up with that? And if that wasn't enough, rich people and the people are controlled just telling us we need to work more.
If we could get the average American, because they feel healthy, they're vital, they're strong, they have agency over their future, to start working a year earlier, right out of high school, or work a year later, not retire, or work better during their lifetime because they're healthy, it would generate about $3 trillion. $3 trillion to the U.S. economy. That would more than remove the debt. It would provide us unbelievable strength because the taxes on that $3 trillion would allow us to keep Medicare Part A solvent, to make a trust fund. It would allow us to make Social Security healthier, tremendous downstream benefits. But to do that, you actually have to invest in making sure people want to work the extra year.
So instead of stopping inflation or hedge funds from buying all the real estate and jacking up prices, instead of increasing wages, which would help keep up with the cost of living, they just want us to work more. They just want us to work a year earlier, a year later, and to work until we die, basically. Love when a bunch of clowns in suits sit in air conditioning all day telling me to work until I'm 75 because billionaires need more tax breaks. And it's still hard for me to believe that people voted for Trump thinking this rich billionaire surrounded by billionaire oligarchs was going to actually lower the price of groceries and help you and me. He sounds like he's never even said the word groceries in his life.
This will rapidly drive prices down, lower interest rates, and put more money into the pockets of American consumers. It'll also bring your grocery bill way down. I have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, you know, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything you eat.
Every single thing that Trump has done since he's been in office has been wrecking the economy.
32% of Americans say things are going well in the country, John. 68% say they're going badly. This is clearly driven in large part by the economy, which is by far and away the most important issue for Americans. 47% say economy, cost of living, top issue.
Of course, we're in an affordability crisis. People can't afford to buy a house. Homes are so far out of reach at this point. I think they said there are 600 more sellers than there are buyers right now, which is the first time that's happened in American history.
61% of Americans say they've worsened.
But like I said, Andrew Schultz isn't the only person that woke up and realized he made a huge mistake.
I voted for none of this.
Adin Ross, another Trump glazer, came out and finally admitted that he made a mistake.
I had a call with someone in my team. Can I tell you guys something? Now that I look back on it, I really, really wish I never got into like politics. And I feel like that's a cool thing to like talk about. Obviously, it's like, you know, I just kind of like, I know y'all didn't like that era at all, except for the Trump like stream. Obviously, at the end of the day, was the president. Like, but like now that I look back at it, it's like, damn, like so many people just tie me to it, and now it's just like, fuck, like no matter what, they don't even get to know who I am because they don't like even want to. Oh, you did this stream with Trump. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I really, really understand other people's side. And as I'm getting older, I'm just like seeing like, I just don't think I'll ever care enough again for any other politician ever in the future. Just because it's like, at the end of the day, bro, like humans, we're all humans, you know?
I love watching a culture vulture spiral. You made your move. You put your flag in the sand. Now you facing all the backlash. Now you want to backpedal. Nah, stay with your man. Don't let a rich kid fool you. All he gives a fuck about is money. Good old Trump and dump. You trying to do a Trump and dump? Nah. Once MAGA, always MAGA.
More and more people every day are throwing their red hats away. The fact that anybody had a red hat. If you had a MAGA hat, there's no coming back from that. Even for people that voted for Trump, if you voted for Trump, if you had a MAGA hat, dog, you are MAGA for life. I don't care. They're red hats away and donating them to thrift stores because that's where I see tons of them lately. MAGA are waking up from Trump's lies.
In 2 weeks, I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
Who voted for Donald Trump and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA a lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now.
MAGA has become an ironic tragedy.
Now, of course, us panicans, as we were so called, are now being proven right, or I guess just ahead of the curve. But here's the ironic tragedy that MAGA has become and why it's simply not going to be moving anytime soon. Instead, you're getting more foreign aid. Instead of stopping the regime change wars and stopping the foreign entanglements, you're getting more regime change wars, more foreign entanglements. Instead of, with the Epstein files, arresting the co-conspirators, bringing in all the disgusting monsters that were a part of the Epstein network, instead you're telling us to move on and that it's a hoax. This is why you're going to lose the midterms. And people that have principle, like me, are not just going to give this up.
And it just seems like Trump knows he's cooked at this point. He is finished. He knows it too. A dejected and low-energy Trump struggles with explaining why his policies, and his administration are so unpopular. He knows it's over. Yeah, you can't historically be one of the most unpopular presidents ever and think your party has any chance to survive in the midterms.
Just, you know, our people, they've been incredible, the job they've done. And they take nothing but abuse, but, you know, they're sort of pretty hardened to that, I think, because they know they're doing the right thing. It just amazes me that there's not more support out there. It's just, we actually have a silent support. I think it's silent. I think well, that's how I won. I got probably 85 million votes. They say 78 million, 79 million. They cheated in this election, too. It was just too big to rig. Too big to rig.
Donald Trump is losing steam. He knows his ship is sinking. His poll numbers are free-falling. The world laughs at him and us. He knows he's going straight to prison after he steps out of office. Such a sad, sad man. I said it before, I'm happy people are finally waking up to how bad Trump has been for this country. He actually did so much damage, it's hard to put in perspective. I mean, he single-handedly proved that one man can break all the checks and balances that the federal government is supposed to have to protect itself from dictatorship. And I think another thing we learned with this whole election is that rich people are far removed from the rest of us. They are selfish. They only want to enrich themselves, and they will sell out all of us to do it. With even parts of MAGA waking up and verbalizing their regret for voting for Trump, he's absolutely cooked. But shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting. Thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.